Now we are looking at section number 4 of test 1 listening. We have 10 questions and we need to complete the notes below and write no more than 2 words for each answer. So let us first go through the actual content, what we are going to listen, and then try to fill in. So I'll read it for you. Good afternoon, everyone. Well, with some of you about to go out on field work, it's timely that in this afternoon session, I'll be sharing some ideas about the reason why groups of whales and dolphins sometimes swim ashore from the sea right onto the beach and most often die in what are known as mass strandings. Unfortunately, this type of event is a frequent occurrence in some of the locations that you'll be traveling to, where sometimes the tide goes out suddenly, confusing the animals. However, there are many other theories about the causes of mass strandings. The first is that the behavior is linked to parasites. It's often found that stranded animals were infested with large number of parasites. For instance, a type of worm is commonly found in the ears of dead whales. Since marine animals rely heavily on their hearing to navigate, this type of infestation has the potential to be very harmful. Another theory is related to toxins or poisons. These have also been found to contribute to the death of many marine animals. Many toxins, as I'm sure you are aware, originate from plants or animals. The whale ingests these toxins in its normal feeding behavior, but whether these poisons directly or indirectly lead to stranding and death seems to be depending upon the toxin involved. In 1988, for example, 14 humpback whales examined after stranding along the beaches of Cape Cod were found to have been poisoned after eating tuna, who contain sexy toxin, the same toxin that can be fatal for humans. Alternatively, it has also been suggested that some animals stand or strand accidentally by falling their prey ashore in the confusion of the chase. In 1995, David Thurston monitored pilot whales who beached after falling squid ashore. However, the ideas does not seem to hold true for the majority of mass strandings because examination of animal stomach content reveal that most had not been feeding as they stranded. There are also some new theories which link strandings in humans. A growing concern is that loud noises in the ocean cause strandings. Noises such as those caused by military exercises are of particular concern and have been pinpointed as the cause of some strandings of late. One of these, a mass stranding of whales in 2000 in the Bahamas, coincided closely with experiments using a new submarine detection system. There were several factors that made their stranding stand out as different from previous strandings. This led researchers to look for new cause. For example, for one, all the stranded animals were healthy. In addition, the animals were spread out along 38 kilometers of coast, whereas it's most common for the animals to be found in a group when mass stranding occur. A final theory is related to group behavior and suggests that sea mammals cannot distinguish between sick and healthy leaders and will follow sick leaders, even to an inevitable death. This is particularly interesting theory since the whales that are thought to be most social, the toothed whale, are the group that strand the most frequently. The theory is also supported by evidence from dolphin stranding in 1994. Examination of the dead animals revealed that apart from the leader, all the other had been healthy at the time of their death. Without one consistent theory, however, it is very hard for us to do anything about this phenomena except to assist animal where and when we can. Standing networks have been established around the world to aid in rescuing animals and collecting samples from those that could not be helped. I recommend John Connor's Marine Mammal Ashore as the excellent starting point if you are interested in finding out more about these networks or establishing one yourself. So this was the content which you are going to listen. So now let us try to answer one by one. The first one is mass strandings, situation where a group of whales and dolphins swim onto the beach and die, common in areas where the dash can change quickly. This is the tide goes out suddenly. The tide goes out suddenly. Parasite examples, some parasites can affect marine animals, and in this we can add, since marine animals rely heavily on their hearing to navigate, this type of infestation has the potential to be very harmful when they depend on the navigation. Toxins. Then we are going to answer 33rd. Poisons from many toxins, as I'm sure you are aware, originate from plants and animals. Poison from plants and animals are commonly consumed by whales. Cape Cod 1998 whales were killed by saxitoxin. Accidental strandings. Animals may follow prey ashore. Example, Thurston 1995. Unlikely because the majority of animals were not. In this we can have, because I read, examination of the animal's stomach content revealed that most had not been feeding as they stranded, right? Or not feeding. Human activity. 35th. Dash from military test. What is this? Noises from military tests are linked to some recent stranding. The Bahamas 2000 stranding was unusual because the whales were all dash, were not in a dash. So in 36 we can add were all healthy, and in 37 we can add animals were spread out along 38 kilometers of coast, were not in in proximity to this coast. Group behavior, more standing in the most 38. In this we can add the whales that are thought to be most social species of whales. 1994 dolphin strandings, only the dash was ill, means the boss or the navigator. In this we can add, apart from the leader, all the others had been found healthy. Then the last one, 40 marine mammal ashore. Connor gives information about strandings, and finding out more about these networks or marine mammals ashore gives information about establishing one yourself or finding out more about these networks. So this was actually the section 4 or final section of our listening test 1. Thank you so much.